know nothing about blockchain, we here to fix that. You want the news on them new stocks, this where you get that. So go and grab you a nice chair, it's time to sit back and talk to profit. Hey, you talking to the prophet.
Hey, I'm Liz, the editor of Trading Today. Voz is the glamorous one, I'm the other one. We have been cleaning up in our free e-letter with crash profits. As the market tanked, I sent out 10 separate profit alerts, all for free. 158% on GM, 78% on CX, 100% on RVLV, 96% on Redfin. I could go on, but I won't. As great as Trading Today is, and I admit I'm a little biased, this is just a tiny taste of what our experts are doing right now in this crazy market. For instance, in CJ's Night Trader service, he just made total cumulative gains of 1,601% in one day on June 13th. Mark closed out cumulative gains of 927% on that same day in Profit Revolution. And while this market was tanking, Kenny was using his VWAP magic to find intraday trades to the upside in beat-up names from Redbox to Roblox. Point is, these guys know how to trade in a bear market and make a crap ton of money. And right now, with the recession looming, that's more important than ever. You need to have multiple ways to capitalize in this terrible market, and each one of these experts has a specific edge to help you protect yourself and profit right now. So we've extended our Bear-Proof Your Portfolio event, that's a tongue twister, where you can get $500 off any of our research services. Mark, CJ, Kenny, Voz, whoever you want. This offer expires at midnight, so you will want to hurry or you will turn into a pumpkin. Just call Gabe at this number and $500 off. Boom! I know, Jared, I was not talking to you this time. I'll see you guys soon.
And we're going live with Nick Black in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Pew! That's what you get. You get one pew.
Now, explain this. Why do I only get one pew? Just tell me. What's going on here, buddy?
Because you stink.
Okay, fair enough.
How was your Father's Day? First, did you buy any
Excellent.
Bitcoin? Did you buy Bitcoin?
Ethereum. Always Ethereum.
Did you really? You didn't really buy Ethereum over the weekend, did you?
I did.
Well, it was a winning trade.
Thank you. I think I did okay.
Well,
I bought
wait,
$17. I bought $17
wait.
with it. I'm up $17.47. So
You're killing.
good. I did pretty good.
You're crushing.
Hey,
what do you use? Where you live? You live in Iowa, right?
Idaho. Yeah.
Same thing. It's those
Basically.
states.
It's like
those are flyover
like
states.
you don't care enough about me, Nick. What's happening?
Do you have a tractor trailer?
Let's talk about some crypto, Nick. What do we got going on today?
If it runs off of Ethereum, you can run for 4% longer than you could Friday. If it runs off of Solana, it's broken.
Well, yeah, obviously. That's the next one to fall. Have you seen those memes where they see the Grim Reapers walking through the doors? You got Celsius, the other stuff.
Arrows.
The next one's Solana. It's the next door. They're like, we're going to take it down.
Real quick, what's happening on SOLana where they're shutting down one of those it's a DAO platform, which whatever that really means. So they voted, and here's the best part. You think, well, out of 100% of the people, if you're going to vote to well, meaning somebody that owns a lot of tokens, they want to just shut him down. Look like I'm so fucked up. In order to kill the whale, they said we're going to forcibly sell his shares, his holdings pool, or in the lending pool. So guess what the margin was that they had to reach? The margin for. You want to guess?
That's a good. I think you might. Are you on Wi-Fi, Nick? Are you on Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi.
You look beautiful, but you're a little bit. You keep like skipping, like your voice keeps going. So like, oh, okay. You look beautiful.
I can try to switch which cushion it uses.
Let me see what we can do here. Yeah, whatever you can do. It's really rough. The signal coming in for some reason.
Well, then why don't you go to the to the question screen. Why don't we do some questions?
Oh, let's do some questions right off the bat. Let's nail those things right off the bat. That's a really good idea.
I'm not on dial up. I don't use dial. Don't have fingers off by a velociraptor.
Well, this question's actually very fitting because a lot of people are asking what they should do, and I know we just brought it up right at the start. What should people do if they're still holding on to Solana, or if they still have Sol?
So this is the thing that I wanted to talk about. So they have this big pool. No, get back on the screen. I want to see your face, sir.
Anytime. What do you need?
Okay, look. So they had this big, there's a whale. He has too many tokens. They say too many tokens, decentralized, but they have too many tokens. So they voted to make sell, to forcibly liquidate pool. What do you think the threshold was? 20%, 50%. What do you think is a fair threshold?
I don't know, 50%?
Well, it wouldn't matter because only 1.4% of the pool.
What?
Yes. And 50% of those votes came from one wallet repeatedly revoting because they had no mechanism to prevent fraudulent voting.
Dude, that's so much for setting up a DAO in that situation or anything else. This is like
everything about to fail. Even the projects aren't created by Solana. This one, it's not even their fault. They didn't create SolLend, I don't think.
Right.
So it's just one dumpster fire after the next. I mean, I'm not going to tell you to sell anything. I'm not going to tell you. Yes, guys, we know that the feed is bad. We can only assume that it's Brandon's fault. If you have Solana, you need to decide if it makes sense to hold it. I would never own that token. It's an awful team. It's an awful project. And everywhere along the path, all of the little dots that make up that company is garbage sauce. So I would say maybe just don't be a part of Solana. But if you own it, you have to decide whether you're willing to hold on to it. But it's basically just a bad database. Like we've had databases since the 70s. They work just fine and they're centralized. Well, Solana is a centralized, nothing more than a database, only it doesn't even work. So it's not even good as a database. I don't know, man. I would not hold it. I would not own it. That's just me. You got to do you. So yeah. All right. Let's tackle some more questions while we get this video thing sorted out.
You actually sound and look really good right now, Nick. If you want to hit the top of the
I
show,
always sound and look good.
Everything is a lot better now. Do you want to knock all the questions out really quickly? Or what do you want to do?
Well, now that everyone can hear us, should we say welcome to the American Institute for Cryptocurrency Investors live show?
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Woo!
We can hear us now. This is good.
We can hear us. We exist.
Check out this rundown, Nick. Here we go.
Oh, I'll say it officially. Beta, yeah, Solana is a dumpster fire. For Ava Phoenix, no wait. For OG, I like Matic. I'm a big fan of Matic. Actually, they have the best. Man, they're the ones that keep nailing partnerships. I like the Matic. All right. Let's keep going with questions. Let's go with some questions. Let's nail all the questions. We never get to all the questions. People are always so sad. Let's get all these questions out of the way. Brandon.
All right, here's what we got. Next question is from Trader Joe. Any opinions on the Eurobacked stablecoin Yorick? Is it Yorick? Is that how you say it?
It looks like Yorick.
Yorick.
Is it issued by the ECB? No. If it's not issued by the ECB, then you have to determine, do you trust their auditing? If you trust their auditing, they need to be held by euro or euro equivalents, right? Just like you have dollar and dollar equivalents, you have treasuries. It should be euro currency or euro bonds or some kind of short-term rollover, some kind of short-term ECB debt that can roll over. So while there's no credit risk, essentially they could continue to pay you euros. There could be some debasement risk. But if it's not issued by the government, you have to be very careful that it's not any kind of algorithmically based stable coin, because those are not stable. And you have to make sure that there are euro or euro equivalents in the same way that you would look at a US stable coin and make sure there are either dollar or dollar equivalents. And I would say dollar equivalents for a US dollar stable coin would have to be short-term treasuries. I don't think anything else would really suffice. Not unspecified corporate paper, wallpaper, toilet paper, none of that. It's got to be short-term treasuries that they can roll over, that don't have a lot of, any kind of long-term risk. I mean, like nothing over a month, really, like 4 week and less. The whites, the whites. If you look at the chromography of the treasury market, the whites, right? Anyway, there you go.
That's good. The next question, Bitcoin. What do you think, Nick? Do you think it's going to keep going down? I mean, you tell it. You're the prophet, right?
That's a $21,500 question. Can it go down? Yes. Are there more hedge funds that are going to get nuked? Yes. Is there more pain along the way? Probably. Some people are speculating, and this is just speculation. I don't know if there's direct proof, but some people are speculating that when Celsius got in trouble, that FTX and maybe a couple of other exchanges got together and might have helped the price of Bitcoin go down by selling off some reserves in order to nuke Celsius, because Celsius is a bad company with bad habits and bad behavior. And maybe the space is cleaner and safer for new entrants when a Celsius doesn't exist. I mean, you had those idiots. Brandon, did you know this? You had these idiots like Celsius short squeeze. Like during this nonsense, there's idiots on Twitter telling people to buy the token to short squeeze the people that are shorting the Celsius token. It's gone up like a 3x. You dummies. You absolute degenerate dummies. Let it die. It's a company with a crook at its helm. Let it go. And I say, if Bankman Fried Chicken and the guys over at Coinbase and Kraken got together and had a little meeting and said, let's nuke Celsius because it's a bad company run by bad individuals, good. That's I would high five Mr. Fried Chicken. I would high five him for such behavior. So will Bitcoin go down more? Well, it could be a function of funds selling to make good, to get liquid. I mean, they're going to be, liquidating assets. Hopefully some of the unwind in Three Arrows Capital looks more like trading across for cash rather than selling. But my guess is if those guys are going to die, they're going to go down, and they want to take people down with them. They were so arrogant. For those of you that don't know the story of Three Arrows Capital, these guys were incredibly arrogant. I mean, arrogant, because they had gotten their fund up, several $1 billion. And I don't know how much over 3, but pretty big, right? That's real money. But that was in these up markets. They got slaughtered in down markets because they don't know what they're doing. They're gambling on garbage products, on garbage, look, it doesn't take a genius to look at these teams and see what kind of creeps that are running these teams. Spend 3 seconds listening to Alex Mashinsky or Stable Kwan or Justin Sun or Bread Garlic Mouth or Chris Grand Larceny or sleazy CZ Binance. 3 seconds and you already have a sick feeling in your stomach. It's even less if you listen to the Solana developers. It's even less if you listen to the idiots at Real Vision that were pushing Luna. It's even less than that. We're like down in the milliseconds if you listen to Novogratz. Why? These guys are creeps. And you don't have to know anything about money. All you have to do is know about humans. And if you listen to these humans, I don't trust these dudes. It's mostly dudes. You know what you don't see? You don't see women screwing us over in crypto. It seems to be only creepy men. Dang it. The gender line. Where's the woke community to solve this? We need more women screwing us over. No, but the thing is, You don't need to know crypto. You don't need to even know business. If you listen to these guys, for just a few seconds, you'll get a weird feeling in your stomach that you should have nothing to do with them. So don't own their tokens. Don't be on their exchanges. Don't be on their platforms. And, you might want to listen to what they're saying to make sure you don't have any kind of peripheral exposure. These dudes are just bad news. They need to go broke. But part of that going broke is they may have to liquidate assets. Bitcoin probably still has some downside. I don't think we've seen the last of it. I mean, the war in Ukraine is not over. Gas prices have not subsided. We're not into deep deflation, which I think we will be. The people are still talking about the inflation myth. There's still a lot, like the equity market's not fixed. I know it's bouncing a little bit, but it's not fixed. So there's still a lot that needs to happen. We're not there yet. So could things go down consistently from here? Well, I think in fits, they could go down. However, I've seen that most of the other assets, I think the punishment, they're already down there 90%. So I think most of the layer 1 protocols, they've taken the beating they're going to take, and you can start to dip your toe in. I've been buying the whole time, but I've been buying more the last week or two, which, by the way, is the first time we've seen 12 straight down days for the Bitcoin. Kind of interesting, right?
Oh, I saw that too, actually. They were mentioning. Same thing with Ethereum. 12 candles never happened before.
Pew, pew, pew. I think people may need to reevaluate what they like about Ethereum, and if they think that as these assets rebuild, that Ethereum is going to go back to 5,000. I mean, if the whole market absorbs capital, I think there's a possibility of that. But I don't know if I would be assuming that Ethereum is going to have the growth by percentage that it has in the past. It was the only show in town, and now it's not. So that story is a lot different. But Bitcoin could get beat up a little bit more. What else we got?
Right now, looking at JCNTC,
Gust.
The opinion on Gust.
Disgust.
Right.
Well, the problem is there is Gemini. Guess who you're dealing with? Two guys that just got caught lying to the CFTC, making what was the quote in the indictment? Materially false and misleading statements to federal officials involving the price. Oh, this is where it gets tricky. The price mechanisms involved with Bitcoin spot price propagation. Basically, they lied. They got caught. GUSD is Gust Gemini USD because that's disgusting. I would stay away from it. Stay away from these dudes. They don't like you. They don't care about you. They're not safe. If they get slapped with $100 million fine, I don't know. They probably have to go to debt. They have to go borrow to pay that. I don't think Gemini is big enough to write a $100 million check without it coming out of their pockets personally. And remember, Gemini is not about having an exchange that gives people meaningful access to Web3, to the future of crypto, to NFT. No, Gemini is about the twins selling their crap to you any way they can. And they were big, big, big pushers of Luna, big pushers of UST, and they were one of the first recipients of money from the Luna Foundation, the Luna Foundation Guard that was meant to protect the price of Luna by buying UST, and instead a bunch of Bitcoin just went to Gemini and then just disappeared away to Binance. And remember, and then CZ Binance came on and tweeted, I really want to figure out where this money went. Something doesn't seem right. Yeah, dummy, it doesn't seem right. You have it. It's in your hand right now, creep. So, like everywhere along the daisy chain of bad players, the Gemini twins look like they're starting to become kind of the creeps that we kind of knew they were. It's that's where we are. We're at creep status. They are said creeps. That's where we're at. Okay. Do you have any questions, Brandon? Is there anything that's perplexing you?
Are you serious? This is my time to shine?
This is your time to shine, bro.
Why aren't you at NFT New York, man? What's going on right now? That's happening right now.
Bro, I've been on so many planes. All of May and the beginning of June, I was planing. I was New York. I was in Baltimore. I was in Chicago. And while those were all a lot of fun, as you know, you're in Baltimore right now.
That's it? Yep.
Wait, which room are you in?
I'm in the basement. It's wonderful.
Wait, doesn't that have the fake trees in the basement?
It does! Oh my gosh! I see what you're talking about now.
How are you surrounded? You were surrounded by these. You jackwagon. How did you not know this?
I'm sorry. Right there. They're beautiful.
Can you rotate your camera so that we can see it?
Okay. Fair enough.
Let's see it.
There we go. There you go.
You lying. Oh, wait. No. There they are. There they
are. They're right there.
Okay. If you see behind, do you guys see that? It gives you a nice nature-y feel.
It's all peaceful right now.
It's pretty zen there.
All peaceful.
Well, so were you serious? Were you buying Ethereum over the weekend?
Yeah.
To do transactions?
Mm-hmm.
What did you buy?
If I said NFTs, are you going to get mad?
No, because it's NFT week in New York, so I'm not going to get mad.
Okay. There you go.
Not directly mad. Which ones did you buy?
A domain. I'm into domain names. Big domain names.
Oh, God. You're an ENS squatter?
Yep. Squatting. 100%.
Old Johnny come lately, huh?
No. I got some. I'm happy with where I sit. I'm happy with those.
Have you ever sold an NFT domain?
I've sold like probably 20 over the last 2 weeks.
For good money?
Well, for me, but not for you. I made
$18
a piece.
Was it a good?
It was profitable.
Wait.
Profitable.
You bought them for what? 25?
And then you did minus the gas. Then no, I joke when I say $18, but they were profitable.
So what do you make? A couple $100 a piece, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
That's not bad.
For a small guy like myself, that's something. That's worth talking about.
It's not big or small. It's just it's how you use your portfolio.
In the domain space, there's a very liquid market in certain categories. And so I only stay within those markets of the domain space. Liquidity is key right now for that. So anything outside of the liquidity niches, not something that I'm dabbling in right now.
Well, listen, I hope it works out for you. I don't know enough about domain squatting to really – I have a bunch of domains that I bought because I thought they were cool names. But I've not sold any. I don't even know if I know how to sell them. But I have them, lots of them. And that's all there is today. Let's take a look at the markets. Let's round this thing out. Okay. There's an interesting question. Can you tell me how to make or create a wallet for Luna 1? What do you think about Luna 1? Well, if it has the word Luna in it, I'm out. Period, full stop. Just don't. I would not be involved in that community in any way, shape, or form. How many times do you have to get burned? Did you know that he's got that Stable Quan is actually one of the stakers? He's the biggest, like one of the biggest private wallets. I think it's like 2 or 3, the biggest private holders. After he nuked everyone, he's making off staking because he has so many tokens. He's making like $300,000 a month. Where do you think that money's coming from?
The money that he stole from everybody.
No. This is new stolen money.
Oh, that's good.
From the new idiots. Is ADA a good buy? So let's talk about this. We talked about Bitcoin. Let's talk about the protocols. And for the sake of this discussion, we mean layer ones. We're going to say is Ethereum, Cardano, Polkadot, Avalanche. I'm going to say Matic is a layer 1, even though they would consider themselves a layer 2. I think they're becoming a layer 1, my opinion. Near, Cosmos, Algorand and Cosmos. So those are our layer 1s. AICI, it doesn't even need to be on here. It's a video game thing. I'm going to nuke it off of there. Okay, bye, AICI. AICI got axed. Okay. Of the protocol layers, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's say there's 8 solid layer 1 projects. Cardano being, in my opinion, the second most solid, right? Why is it the second most? Well, because Ethereum is established. You can't ignore it. While I think it won't scale the way the other assets, these layer ones will scale, I don't think you can ignore Ethereum and say that it doesn't. It's not that it doesn't exist. Okay, so what's the best buy? Well, then I look at the yearly and I say, okay, based on our November cheat sheet, we had a price of $3.20 on some exchanges, $3.40 on Cardano. It's at 50 cents. So if you believe this, if you simply believe that we will get back to where we were last November, that all of crypto is not finished and that these protocols, there's a good solid chance they'll get back to at least where they were, which I think that's a weak assumption, but it's a fair assumption. All right. So that gives you, let's see, a 6.5x, 650% return on Cardano, just getting back to where it was. They did push back some of their upgrades. The upgrades are going to happen on the testnet, but the upgrades are not Vassal. The hard fork is going to wait. I think they kicked it 4 weeks because Charles, after the whole Luna debacle, their team kind of got together and they were just uncomfortable. They said, listen, we got to be very careful, very, very, very careful that we don't release anything that has any kind of exploit angles to it, any attack surface. So I think it was smart what they did. They said, we'll do the test net hard fork, but let's not roll out the big hard fork. Also, when Cardano's doing these upgrades, which are big upgrades, by the way, they're upgrades that are going to make the user experience much better. But for right now, these particular upgrades, which is 30, 31, 32, 33, and 40, these improvement proposals, these are mostly for developers so that they can eventually scale Cardano to millions of transactions a second, although the internet has some walls of its own, right? Like every computer is not as fast as you guys saw from my digitized face earlier. Not every node in a system has perfect kind of communication with a network, and the internet is what it is. So the internet itself is a little gummy, but the speed of light is the speed of light, right? So to digress, Cardano to $3, is that in the cards this year? I don't know. But is Cardano to $1.50 in the cards? Probably. Okay. Polkadot, it was at $50, actually a little bit above. It's at $8. So simple math. That's a 620% run. Okay, a little bit less, 815. It's a 605% run if it just got back to where it was. Will it? I don't know, but I think it's reasonable to assume that as these markets grow, if Polkadot is a quality asset, and again, these are all questions you have to ask yourselves. It doesn't just mean they're all quality assets. So to reduce your question, I think all of the protocols have an embedded 500 to 700% potential gain. Cardano is my favorite of the bunch. My second favorite is probably Algorand, followed by Matic, Near, Cosmos. I'm considering Avalanche, but Dot would be at the bottom. And Ethereum is still in the running. That being said, we got to roll out. We got to make time for other people. Stay in shape. Stay in school. Drink your protein drinks. Drink your V8 juice if you're not allergic. Don't do anything my poor insolvent, drunk, strung out on meth grandmother wouldn't do, or Brandon. And that ain't all that much. We'll see you on the next one. Pew, pew. Pew, 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 pew.